Hi, and thanks for choosing to watch this SalesLogix video in which we'll look at adding marketing campaigns within the SalesLogix web client. The campaigns area within SalesLogix allows you to record information about your campaign, create stages and tasks to assist you in bringing together and launching your campaign, helps you select targets and record responses and opportunity rates. You can also use other SalesLogix functionalities such as Group Builder and Mail Merge to perform important campaign tasks. I always think that a simple example of a campaign might be that you send an email to 2,000 targets, you may get 200 responses which lead to 20 opportunities which result in 2 closed deals. SalesLogix can record all this and show you your return on marketing investment. The campaigns area is found under the marketing section of the navbar, and it is like many other entities within SalesLogix. You have groups at the top, and if I click on a campaign, I can see the detail of that campaign and also additional tabs of information below. We have a Stages and Tasks tab. We also have a Budgets and Results tab where you can see response success and also return on investment success. We can see who our target contacts and leads are. We can see the number of responses we have gathered over the course of the campaign. And also we see a list of all opportunities associated with this specific campaign. We can also link specific products to a campaign as well. So let's go about adding and launching a campaign. On the campaign navbar button, right-click and select New Campaign and fill in the information you require, such as name, description, objective and call to action. The status we will leave as setup for now, and you can input a start and end date if a campaign is a limited time offer, for example. These dates also help with managing your campaigns through group building. The logged on user has been set as the campaign manager, and you can limit access to the campaign via ownership. Finally, click Save and you can see the detail of your campaign, which you can edit and save at any time. You may now want to add some stages and tasks. By default, there is one stage set up when you add a campaign, and you can use the hyperlinks to edit this stage or use the green plus sign to add additional stages. For this example, we'll just have one stage called Campaign Actions, so we'll edit the existing one. Now we can add some tasks. Next to the stage, click Add Task, and in the top section fill in the details about the specific task you want to perform. You can also assign estimated costs and update with actual costs at a later date. You can also define who the task is assigned to. It should be noted that these tasks do not appear as calendar items, but you can build groups based on tasks and criteria such as needed date and the assigned to user. Click OK when complete. Here we are now where I have added a couple more tasks so users can see the different tasks that they may need to perform. And we can also see them in a group called Open Campaign Tasks. If we go to the Budget Results tab, we can now see the budget quadrant starting to build, and we can add in some additional budget costs to give us a total cost for our campaign based on the task budgets and expenses. Now we need to specify who our target list is, so we go to our Targets tab. If we are using an external list or agency, we can just note the information here, but obviously you will not be able to track responses. We'll just deselect that for now, and on the right hand side a green plus sign allows you to add targets, so we'll click on this particular button. You now have two tabs whereby you can look up targets or add from an existing group. You can add leads and contacts to your target list, but first you would look up one group and add them, and then look up another group using a second lookup and add those targets. I tend to recommend creating groups before or as part of your campaign setup, so you can be very specific on your criteria, and then using the Add from Group tab. I now choose my group, click Search, and then click Add Targets to add them to my Targets tab. Once I've added one set, again I could come back in to the Target screen and add more contacts or leads from a lead group. Back in the Targets tab, I see my targets, and I'll come back to this tab once I've launched my campaign. In the Budgets Results tab, I now see my responses quadrant with contact and lead figures, and I can fill in my expected response rate. So now you have set up your campaign, you may have some tasks to complete prior to launching. In this case, I have a task about creating the mail merge template for sending my e-shot. Naturally, you would need to do this, so why not have it as a task? Let's suppose I've created my template, so I could now mark my task as complete, add any notes and put in any actual cost. One of the tasks may be to actually send the email, which you would also need to do. Notice now that my budgets are also getting updated with actual spend. Whether you have tasks or not to do, you can launch the campaign at any time, and you do this simply by clicking the Launch button. In doing so, this makes the campaign active. This is an important action as it makes an entry in the Marketing tab of all the target leads and contacts, showing that they have been targeted as part of this campaign. So in this case, I'll look at the contact record for John Abbott. And we now go to the Marketing tab, and we see that they may well have been targeted in many campaigns, so you will see the history here. Going back to our campaign and looking at the Targets tab, we see that the status of launched is flagged against each contact or lead, and the initial checkbox is ticked as they are part of the initial campaign list. We can also slice and dice the information we want to see using the filters. Also, we can select all or some of our targets and then click the Update Selected Targets button to update a specific field. This functionality may be used during the lifetime of a campaign, but it should be noted that things like responses will be logged by the users, and we'll look at this functionality in another SalesLogix video called Working with Campaigns. Well, that's it. A quick overview of adding and launching a campaign within SalesLogix. Remember to always check the help files if you have any problems, but in the meantime, thanks very much for watching this SalesLogix video.